Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances all rest to Shri Prabhupada. Thank you all for joining His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj's daily call. Today we are going to continue with the series of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, Chapter 3 and verse number 33 onwards. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances all rest to Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for your kind association and time for all of us today. You can please take over. I'll share my screen.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, Chapter 3, Bhumi Gita, text number 33. Avaratam Bhatato Saucha Viksavascha Kutumbinaha Tapasvino Rama Vasa Nasino Dyartha Lolupaha. So, the brahmacharis will fail to execute their vows and become generally unclean. The householders will become beggars. The vanaprasthas will live in the villages, and the sannyasis will become greedy for wealth. Purport. Brahmachari, celibate student life is practically non-existent in the age of Kali. In America, many boys' schools have become co-educational because young men frankly refuse to live without the constant companion of lusty young girls. Also, we have personally observed throughout the Western world that student residents are among the dirtiest places on earth, as predicted here by the word asaucha. Concerning household beggars, when devotees of the Lord go door to door distributing transcendental literature and requesting donations for the propagation of God's glories, irritated householders commonly reply, "Someone should give me a donation." Householders in Kali Yuga are not charitable. Instead, because of their miserly mentality, they become irritated when spiritual mendicants approach them. In Vedic culture, at the age of 50, couples retire to sacred places for austere life and spiritual perfection. Countries like America, however, retirement cities have become constructions wherein elderly people can make fools of themselves by wasting their last years of their life playing golf, ping pong, and shuffleboard, and by engaging in pathetic attempts at love affairs, even while their bodies are horribly rotten, rotting and their minds are growing senile. This shameless abuse of the venerable last years of life denotes a stubborn unwillingness to acknowledge the actual purpose of human life, and is certainly an offense against God. Varnasino Tirtha Volupaha indicates that charismatic religious leaders, and even those who are not charismatic, will proclaim themselves prophets, saints, and incarnations to cheat the innocent public and fatten their bank accounts. Therefore, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness is working arduously to establish bona fide celibate student life, religious household life, dignified and progressive retirement, and genuine spiritual leadership for the entire world. Today, May 9th, 1982, in the sensual city of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, we have awarded sannyas, the renounced order of life, to 3 young men, 2 Brazilians, and 1 American. The sincere hope that they will faithfully execute their rigid vows of renounced life, to provide authentic spiritual leadership in South America. Umagyan Timirandasya Gimajima Salatara Chaksu Unamritam Tasmai Shri Dharavina Maha Ma Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Shivakti Bhakti Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Vengo Namaste Charine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Pastyatnivesa Tarini Vanchakopatarubhischa Kripa Sindhupe Vachapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchakopatarubhischa Kripa Sindhupe Vachapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho. So, yeah. Of course, this verse refers to the spiritual, and we're already seeing that some of these things are already happening within spiritual society. Brahmacharis, unclean householders, failing to give in charity. Vanaprasthas don't see any person, don't even see the ashram of Vanaprastha to be necessary. Householders stay in there. With their wives all the way to the end of life. And sannyasis will be greedy for wealth. Well, these things are going on even in Vaishnava circles. Not to a large degree, but they are happening in some areas. So we see how Kali infiltrates all over the place. So brahmacharis, Prabhupada was one time walking through one of brahmachari ashram to inspect the ashram, and then when we opened the door to one place, he looked and he said, brahmachari means dirty. He wasn't pleased. And it's just the way it is in Kali Yuga. Usually brahmacharis have too much stuff, and therefore they keep everything neat, clean, and condensed. It's not easy, especially living in the dormitory style. And that causes things like uncleanliness to appear. Due to overcrowding, proper mismanagement of arrangements of the ashram, many reasons why that's there. And so, Prabhupada used to say about cleanliness, he said, if you want to learn cleanliness, go home and live with your mother. She'll teach you how to clean. Prabhupada would say, our temple should be revolutionary clean. He didn't say just clean. He said revolutionary clean, which means beyond what is acceptable as cleanliness. There are many devotees who make it a point to keep things very clean and also inspect areas when they go into them to see if the standard is acceptable. And there's one such sannyasi in our movement, he goes, and when he goes, he'll wipe his finger over the top of the door ledge just to see if it's clean in that area. So, this is actual cleanliness. You come into an area and you can't find a speck of dust. If there's any dust around, that means they failed to clean. So real cleanliness is spick and span, spotless. And cleanliness is the mode of goodness, where dirtiness is the mode of ignorance. And so when an area is very clean, it becomes a place you want to be in. It has a certain brightness. I remember just recently, I had left one brahmachari. It was a guest room that they were using for me when I was coming, and I was going in and out of the place. This was just recently. And so I was making the point that the standard of cleanliness here is very low and should be upgraded. So when I left, they did a major cleaning. And when I came back, as soon as I walked in, immediately I could feel, oh, wow, this place is really clean. So I didn't even expect or even think about it. It's just that when I walked in, the whole atmosphere hit me as being very clean. But cleanliness has that effect. So we have to learn to be very clean, keeping clothes clean, keeping our, personal belongings to a minimum so we don't have extra clutter, keeping everything simple, clean, even living in the home, same thing. And internal cleanliness, chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The cleanliness is understood in both internally and externally. Internally, to keep the heart clean by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the principle of cleanliness as described for Brahminical life. And therefore, one should chant regularly with devotion. And therefore, Chaito Darpana Marjanam, the chanting of the holy names cleanses the mirror of the mind, cleanses the heart, and keeps everything fresh. That's why out of all of the qualities of Brahminical life, two are most outstanding. One is truthfulness, and the other one is cleanliness. These two represent Brahminical qualities in the most outstanding way. When a person is clean and truthful, they are automatically seen as a Brahmin or having Brahminical qualities. So we have to practice that, that's important. And of course, external cleanliness. Depending on where you live, some places get dirty really fast. Like India, you leave the windows open and the dust blows in, and you have a dirty area. Even you have to clean 2 or 3 times a day to keep it clean because it's dust coming in. If you live in more Western countries, there's less effects of dust like that, but still, it has to be kept clean. Everything. And the Prabhupada instructed us that when we cook, no pot should have a black spot anywhere on it. And if there's even one small black spot, that pot is not usable for cooking. Keeping the pots clean, scrubbing the bottoms, making sure if you do that from the very beginning, it becomes easy. If we fail to do that, then the black starts to stick on after continuous use, and it becomes very difficult to get it off. Keeping pots clean, keeping the kitchens clean, keeping bathrooms clean. Everywhere, cleanliness is a very lofty principle and must be practiced with great diligence. And then emphasize the importance of cleanliness. For the Grihastas here, it says they will fail to give in charity. According to Srila Prabhupada's statements in his books, based on Rupa Goswami's program, Rupa Goswami was an employee of the Islamic government. He was very respected, and he earned a lot of money. So when he retired, he had two boatfuls full of gold coins. And he took those gold coins, he took 50% of them, half of them, and he used it to spread God consciousness, supporting all the religious preaching that was going on. He took 25% of that and put it in savings, and the other 25% was used for personal expense. Prabhupada made that as a standard in our society. This is how Grihastas should divide their money. 50% of their, not their gross income, but their net income should be used in that way, and then 25. And of course, because people have a hard time following them, they outrightly reject this program given by Prabhupada. So we basically say, just try to offer something to Krishna consciousness on a regular basis and live accordingly. Some for savings, for emergencies, and some for daily expenses. And like that. So, but Grihastas find themselves living way beyond their means, and therefore they're working so hard, or they have high standards of living. And when it comes to giving charity, they fail to do so. For some people do give in charity and give it regularly. It's an important part of the hostile life. It's actually a regulative principle. If the hostels fail to give charitable gifts to others, then they are deficient in their execution of their ashram. And of course, Vanaprasthas, of course, in Krishna consciousness, Vanaprastha is not possible going to live in the forest, because Prabhupada said that's not our program. Vanaprastha in our program is that after finishing all of the responsibilities in family life, the children are grown up and married, and they have their own lives. Now one gradually removes himself from the association of the wife. In a physical way, they may live together for a little while, and after some time, as one goes, then it's mentioned that the wife goes to a holy place, puts on white, and finishes her life worshiping the deity, and that guarantees her practically a way to get back home back to Godhead. The husband will go on, and after some time, he'll take sannyas, and then enter into the renounced sort of life, and preach Krishna consciousness until he leaves. So these things are not being so much followed in this age, even within our society, but they should be, because this is the Varnashram system, which is the foundation for the successful and in the progressive execution of Krishna consciousness. And the sannyasis here, it says, sannyasis will keep wealth. Prabhupada would say to the grihastas, if you need any money, go to the sannyasis. He wasn't joking, he was. So yeah, in this age, we have a lot of people who present themselves as sannyasis or gurus, and they have large bank balances. There was one spiritual leader, he had 32 Rolls Royces. He was also guilty of tax evasion. Oh, it was, so some of these so-called religious leaders who present themselves in that way, they do it for profit. They do it for money. They sell mantras. You buy a mantra for $1,000, and you get a mantra that's supposed to make you God, or an incarnation of God, or give you some powers. And so some of them do have mystic power, and they use their mystic power in order to pad their bank accounts. So these are some of the flaws, defects, degradations in this age of Kali. So these are the 4 ashrams. So one should follow. Brahmachari should be clean, should know the scriptures. Along with the grihastas, should regularly give in charity and invite spiritual people to their homes in order to have programs to purify the homes, and they can distribute prasadam, which is another principle necessary for grihasta life, regular distribution of prasadam, which helps one detach oneself from the idea that this is my home. This is my wife, this is my husband, these are my children, this is my home, this is my possession, this is my bank balance, this is Maya. We don't own anything, we are using whatever Krishna gives us, and we use it for his service and take what we need in order to live nicely, but ultimately nothing belongs to me. So giving in charity helps because in household life, it's easy to get into that idea of I and mine, this is mine, and this is I. That's why giving in charity helps to break that wrong mentality and put one in the right consciousness that, yes, I'm earning money, therefore I should give in charity, to detach myself from a little bit of this wealth, and also I can be a big supporter of Krishna consciousness in the world. Again, for the Vanapasters, the women should go to holy places after all of their responsibilities of the families are done. They get at least 50 years old or older and live their life there, serving the duty in the holy place and becoming attached to that particular duty. They may go to Vrindavan, they may go to Mayapur, they may go to other holy places, or even go to a particular temple in this time and stay in that one temple and finish their life there, serving the duty there. And the sannyasis, when they should give in charity also, if they get wealth, they should use it in Krishna consciousness and take whatever they need for travel expenses and personal needs. But ultimately, everything belongs to Krishna, and therefore all wealth belongs to Krishna. Krishna is Dwarkadish. He is the resident of Dwarka, the most opulent place on the planet, at least when it was still manifested. It was. Krishna held 16,108 palaces, all finely luxurious with many valuable gems and jewels, diamonds, sapphires, many, many beautiful arrangements, huge palaces, marble, various types of precious stones and metals. So everything but Krishna is Dwarkadish. He's also Vrindavan Chandra. He's also Vrindavan Bihari. He lives in Vrindavan. He can be a simple cowherd boy, or he can be a king in his many palaces. Because he is the supreme controller and everything belongs to him. Whatever we have is coming from him through different agencies, but he is the source of that. And if he wants, he can take it away from us, or he can increase it, depending on how we respond to his mercy. So use your money, use your time, keep everything clean, and realize that everything in this world is temporary, and soon we will have to leave. Okay, questions?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for such wonderful messages through this class. Very nice class, Maharaj. Dear devotees, if you have any questions or comments or realizations, you can please go ahead. And can you please turn on your cameras? That would be very nice to see all of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And we have Parikshit, he's online. We got Rajesh, in his blue coat, blue scarf. We got Archie. We see Namaraj, she's appeared. Silpesh Prabhu has come on again. He is a very enthusiastic person to hear and to learn more.
Yes, Maharaj, yeah.
And the rest of you are hiding behind your cameras. Sringalila has appeared. She's in her tiger skin outfit. And Prema Bhakti, he's always eager to show. We have Sri Devi, who is freezing in Mayapur, and Supriya, who always wants to learn more about Krishna consciousness. He's very eager. He doesn't like the area world. Okay, the rest of you. So did we make 50%? Almost. We got, we got 11 out of 23.
Yes, Maharaj.
We have Srimati, she's always smiling, encouraging everybody else to do the same.
I'm trying my best, Maharaj.
Nice smile. Keeps all of us alive.
Thank you, Maharaj. So,
we have the closet devotees who are in name only, and then we have one that's iPad, and we don't know who iPad is, but It's
Yes,
just a
Maharaj,
name.
but they are joining regularly, but I don't know who it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Any
Okay.
questions, comments, devotees?
So we have the mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance. If you're visible, you're in the mode of goodness. If you're hiding, and you're in the mode of passion, if we don't know your name, we relegate you to another category. It's our ignorance because we don't know who you are. Okay, looks like Nishringa Leela's.
We have a hand raised by Silpesh Prabhu. Can we take that, Maharaj, first?
Yeah, I'm just trying to generate some questions by talking here.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah, please
Everybody
go ahead.
Shah Prabhu.
Please go ahead.
Please accept my humble obeisances of course to Srila Prabhupada. I feel very, very fallen in this age. And you talk about cleanliness and giving in charity. There's so much pressure on us today just to survive. We do our best. We try to keep the house as clean as we can, and we give what we can. But it seems to me that we're really, really reliant on Krishna's mercy in this age. No matter how much we try, it just doesn't seem to be enough.
Well, that's the idea of Krishna consciousness. You should always feel that you can do more. You should never be happy for where you are. We're not complete. This idea, well, I'm satisfied with where I am, is a kind of spiritual complacency. We always think, I want to be, even more advanced. I want to be I want to do more service. I want to renounce more. In other words, we should be thinking both in quality and quantity. How can we increase? And that way we'll always be in a good position to make advancement. If we become somewhat complacent or thinking that we're fine where we are, then the tendency is to develop this idea that I'm okay, but it's not. As long as we are in the material world, we are not okay. Material world is called, it's very precarious. At any time, anything can change. And a disaster can come up, a whole life can change within a few moments. Just the nature of the material world. So everyone should think, I have to increase my attachment to Krishna. I have to increase my attraction for Krishna. I have to increase my love for Krishna. I have to increase my time that I use for Krishna. I have to increase the quality of whatever I'm doing for Krishna. So the devotee is always thinking in terms of more. And that will keep one always moving in the right direction. As soon as we get comfortable with what they call it, comfort zone, then Maya pushes you back, because pure energy works in such a way is that it's always moving towards bringing things down. So the more we are pushing upward, the more we're moving upward, the more we're trying to stay in where we are, the more we're automatically, and I use that word with emphasis, going backwards. Going backwards. And so we have to be always eager to serve, increase quality and quantity. Even if we can increase quantity, we should be thinking of increasing the quality of whatever services we are performing. That's another way of making advancement. Because Maya is looking for opportunities. As soon as she sees that you're not engaged, she'll come and dictate to you what she wants you to do. And depending on your level of practice, she knows exactly how to use certain tactics and techniques to get you somewhat diverted from Krishna consciousness. Some of them are innocent, some of them are obvious, some of them are very clandestine. We don't even see what they are. So, yeah. If we feel like, yes, I am fallen, And Prabhupada would say, all right, you're falling, get up. Don't stay down. He said it's third class to fall down, it's first class to get back up. For those who stay down, they remain third class. Those who get back after falling down, it shows that they are actually learning from their experiences and have take the opportunity of that slip or whatever caused them to go down to move forward in their practice of Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Maharaj. That's really helpful.
Yeah. And we can always, if we scan the landscape of our life, we can always see where we can improve. We always find something that needs improvement that will help us in our development of Krishna consciousness. What's his name? The story of the Brihad Bhagavatam, the Gopal Kumara. I mean, he made it all the way to Vaikuntha, and he saw Narayan there, and Narayan was smiling at him, and he was happy to be with Narayan, but he wasn't satisfied because he wanted to make it to Vrindavan. So although he achieved the spiritual world, still there was this dissatisfaction that I need to go higher. I have to go to Krishna in Vrindavan. And so he did. He started performing. He left Vaikuntha, went back down to the material world, started performing sadhana in order to achieve Vrindavan. And he was successful. So if you study the life of Gopal Kumara, you see that whatever level of spiritual life he obtained, it was not to his satisfaction. He was appreciating whatever deity he was worshiping on the different levels he had achieved, but he always wanted Krishna and Vrindavan. He wouldn't settle for anything. Therefore, he kept aspiring towards Vrindavan sadhana, and then he achieved it after some time. So that's his life is an example of spiritual dissatisfaction. I may be making nice advancement, but I still want to make more.
Does this answer help, Prabhuji? Silveshwar.
Yes, thank you so much, Maharaj. It's I like what you said about quality. If you can't increase quantity, increase quality.
Yeah, quality is actually bhakti. It shows that you want to please the person by your service, so you do it in the best possible way. It's like if you want to give a person a gift, you might think, oh, there's so many gifts I can give, but then you think about the person, and then you think about what gift would be the most pleasing to that person. And then you focus on obtaining that and offering that. So in other words, the gift is there, but how it's offered and what is that gift that is the most beneficial or the most pleasing, then that puts quality in your service. Especially in the area of cleaning. Go into your house, just start cleaning. And if you can't find anybody, if you don't have time to clean, just call Candramauli Swami, he'll come over and clean your house for you. There's nothing more better I like to do than clean. It just gives me great satisfaction. And I don't charge anything. So here's an area we can always focus on cleanliness. Just clean. Look through the stuff you have and see what you can get rid of.
Thank you, Maharaj.
That's also quality in service.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. So cleaning all the time is the greatest difficulty. Sometimes keep on postponing things. Yeah, it's very tough to maintain, and it's a lot of pressure too. Yeah. Thank you, Maharaj. So Priya Mataji, you want to go ahead with your question?
Don't get any maidservants to clean for you. The therapy is doing it to yourself.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah. So Priya Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. I had this question that we do chanting to cleanse our heart and to relieve ourselves of karmic reactions. So when I was discussing this topic with one of the brahmacharis over here, then he told me that unless one is initiated, whatever chanting you are doing is of no use. Is it right?
He's not a brahmachari. He doesn't know anything. Is that the exact statement he made? He said it's no use?
Yeah, exactly. So I was surprised. Then if that is the case, why I'm chanting before even initiated?
Tell him to go back to the ashram and learn what brahmacharya, what the scriptures are. The chanting it's purifying. Chaito Darpana Marjanam. Anyone is getting purified by chanting. And how, when the idea of getting initiation comes, we give people a chance to chant. They chant for a while. They start association, and after a while, they want initiation. Because their hearts became a little bit clean and their minds became aware of the importance of spiritual life, all because of the chanting. So that's nonsense. That is the most ridiculous statement I have ever heard in my life. He doesn't know anything about the Holy Name.
Actually, I was attending his classes, and when I heard that, I decided to stop, and that was the first class only I attended.
He's giving class and he's speaking like that?
Yeah.
You sure you got it right?
Yeah. He said just like that. There is no point in doing all this thing, chanting, unless you are initiated.
Bullshit.
Because nowhere I read that in Bhagavad Gita or anywhere.
Not bullshit, it's dog shit. That's the worst statement I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, he's giving class? Not possible.
Yeah.
Anybody who doesn't know about the holy name. The holy name immediately works upon everyone and anyone. Did you take that out of context, or is there more to what he said?
No, this was just because I started chanting just 6 months back. So I explained him I'm very new to Krishna consciousness, and so he said that there is no point in chanting unless unless you are initiated. This is just a practice, so we get initiated faster. Now to get initiated faster or not is not in my hand, right?
You have to be chanting 16 rounds for at least a year and following the four-legged principle before you can get initiated.
Also, yeah.
Everybody knows that. If you're aspiring for initiation, the requirement is to chant 16 rounds for at least a year and follow the principle. So how can you get initiated if you're not chanting? You should ask them that. Well, how can I get initiated if I'm not chanting? What spiritual master is going to accept someone who is not chanting as a disciple?
Well, I did not go into those details. I just thought of that. Okay, this is not true somehow. But instead of a fight, arguing with the person, I thought, okay, fine. You are on different track. I'm on different track.
take a shoe and beat him on the head, and while you're hitting him on the head with the shoe, you should be chanting the mantra. So he gets the
Maybe some people think that this is just like in marathon, we do the initial training, right? This is the initial training for you. That's it. That is what they are considering.
I can't believe anybody would even say like that. It's just so too far away from all reality. The holy name is not dependent on initiation. It says it in the scriptures. You can look it up. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 15, verses 107 through 109, says the holy name is not dependent on initiation. You can read it yourself. It's right in the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Okay. I have not read Chaitanya Charitamrita, so I don't know.
Yeah, chapter 15, verses 107 to 109. Just look up those verses and read that. It's very clear.
CC 15, 107, 109. Fine. Thank you, Maharaj.
Chapter 15 here. Of Madhya Lila. Madhya Lila. Not Ancha, not Adi Lila or Ancha Lila, Madhya Lila. You understand Madhya Lila?
Priya Mataji? Yeah. I'll post in the chat.
Yeah. I never, just hearing that makes me angry. I can't believe anybody who was a preacher would even say something. That's completely absurd. As long as you're giving me the information the way you give it to me, then I can. But if you're leaving something out, then maybe. But if it's the way it is, yeah. Madhya Lila 15:105 to 107, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Sri Devi.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for the class. We learned so much from it by cleanliness and so on. And as far as this particular person that was preaching, maybe that reference can be shown by the Mataji to him, so that he obviously when he's reading from the scriptures, and there's no doubt about what is and what's right and what's not right. So if he thought differently, or maybe Mataji didn't hear right, then maybe that scriptural text would put things in perspective properly for him.
Everybody, every guru knows that their aspiring disciples have to chant 16 rounds before they can even consider initiation. Everybody knows that.
Definitely.
Maharaj, we have a question on chat by Aarti Mataji. She's asking, Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Is there a certain percentage one should give in charity? Also, should this be given as soon as one starts working or when one enters the Grihasthashram?
Well, it says for Grihasthas, 50% goes to religious principles, 25% for basic expenses, 25% for savings. That's what Prabhupada, he mentions that. I looked up the frequency of that statement, and I found 10 different entries in the Shastras. But I just recently read, and I've also understood it from my own experiences, an article that was written by His Holiness Radhanath Swami, which is posted in one of the ISKCON journals, I think it was ISKCON News, where he talks about that. But then he said, at least that the grihastas should try to give whatever they can afford. In other words, to give nothing would be to be deviant. If you're trying to get something, then at least you're in the right, you're in the right mindset. So there are people who follow that 50%, 25, 25, but we find most householders can't do it. I mean, in Christianity, they say you should give 10% of your income. That's what they say. But everyone should give something. That's the point. So it's different than when you're working, when you're single, and then when you're married. When you're married, then it becomes a responsibility to give a charity.
Is it okay, Mataji? Did you need any further clarifications?
Yes. Thank you very much. So what was the 50% and 25%? The 50% and 25%, what was that?
25% for expenses and 25% for savings.
And the 50% for charity?
Yeah, and for religious principles. These are guidelines. They're absolute principles, they're guidelines.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, we're home.
Scarlett, Mataji, you have a question?
Scarlett, if you're going to ask me about giving in charity, don't worry, you don't have any money.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, no glories to your holiness, and all glories to your humble devotee. Please forgive me, I don't have camera on because I don't have cover on my head, and due to respect to you, I don't want to be seen like that. I have very bad headache today. But I have a question, and it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with charity. My question is, I read Prabhupada's, I read every day the nectar of Prabhupada's and yours. And today I read about that don't give anyone who's not respecting Krishna any chanting, but try convince anyone about Krishna, but try just to give them a book. But I know some have I don't say name, but I have heard that there are people who just throw it away. Is it when you know that person says no, and you try still to give book, is it not dangerous that they are going and throwing out the book?
You don't know if they're going to throw it out or not. But there are people who do receive books, and somehow somebody gets that book or finds that book and gets the benefit of it. There are many cases like that. So we take a chance with books. But if you see it becomes obvious that this person doesn't want it, and Prabhupada said, don't try to force it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Rajesh.
Prabhu, you're on mute.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, Hare Krishna, Srimati Devidasi, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, my Dandavat pranams. Maharaj, I was sort of smiling when you so graciously offered to come and sort of clean, help Silpesh Prabhu or any of us with cleaning duties. The irony is I've had a bit of a clean out to do over the last couple of weeks, or maybe a little bit longer, and I've only sort of got halfway through. But so I was smiling, thinking, okay, I've got to finish this off today. But I was also thinking, Maharaj, that you're already helping, more than helping. You're cleaning our hearts, and also here with our minds. So I think that's more important in terms of getting us to help, helping us to enable us to do our own cleaning. So thank you, Maharaj.
I'm just handing you the broom. That's all.
And also giving us inspiration to take the broom.
Yeah.
It's important.
You don't take the broom, I give you the dustpan, and then I give you the mop, sponge.
It was a process, right? The brooming first and then the mopping.
You have to do the cleaning. I can just give you the incentive, try to give you the incentive. That's all. That's what the spiritual master does. He doesn't do it for you, but he allows you to understand the importance of what you should be doing.
Thank you, Maharaj.
There we go, Rajesh.
Thank you. Thank you. Dear devotees, any questions or comments? Maharaj, I want to ask a small thing. When we're talking about brahmachari ashram, so what is the correct age for young boys to get the training as a brahmachari?
I think there's rules for entering into the ashram. I think they have to be at least 18. Of course, there have been exceptions because if they're still considered a minor and something goes wrong, and then the ashram, the temple could be liable for that. So usually when they reach what is called adult, where they can make their own decisions legally. So we honor that. So we usually say about 18 before they can come into the ashram. Before they can train at home with their friends and with others, and get a feel for that lifestyle. Get some knowledge also. But living in the ashram, I think, requires one to not be within the minor. So that's a legal thing. So the temple doesn't become implicated if something goes wrong.
So should they be initiated, Maharaj, for that training?
No, they don't have to be initiated. They can, many of the boys in the ashram are not initiated.
Okay.
You come into the ashram for training. Part of the training is to understand your relationship with Krishna through accepting Krishna's representative, the spiritual master. That's part of the training. Yeah. So initiation is not a requirement for living in the ashram. For instance, if you go to Bhaktivedanta Manor, they have a brahmachari ashram, and there's a lot of devotees there who are not initiated, but they're training. They're living in that atmosphere. They're learning.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah. Thank you so much. Rajesh Prabhu, you have a question?
Yeah. Maharaj, I might be being a little bit silly here. I hope I'm not trying to be. So I heard a class today, this morning, at the Manor, really nice class, but I wasn't fully attentive because I was trying to serve during the class. I can see yourself, Maharaj, and Parikshit Dasa Prabhu in glorious yellow. And is it today the first day of spring in India, Vedically? And is there that the significance for wearing yellow today?
Today is the 25th, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
According to the calendar, tomorrow is the Sun Panchami, which is the first day of spring, where the deities are the deities are dressed in yellow green, or mostly yellow or yellow green. Yeah. And you'll see if you do darshans around the world, you'll see the deities dressed. So tomorrow is the actual day.
Tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking of spring and spring cleaning. So I thought I've got to get my cleaning done by tonight,
Well,
tomorrow.
You have to understand, in India, in the Asian area of the world, there are 6 seasons, not 4 seasons. And each season lasts 2 months approximately.
Maharaj, what are the extra
So-
seasons? Do they correlate to the fall we have in the West?
One is called the rainy season, and the other one is called Hemanta. Hemanta, you know what Hemanta is? I think it's the season, right? It's just it's right around springtime, isn't it?
Hemanta, yes, Maharaj. Hemanta is like winter, I think.
Uh-huh.
Like when it is snowing too much winter, I think, Maharaj. I don't remember.
Okay. There are 6 seasons in India.
Yes,
Each
Maharaj. That's yeah.
2 months. One is called the monsoon season, rainy season.
Yeah.
That's usually July, August.
Thanks,
Arti
Maharaj.
Mataji is saying that in UK, Vasanta Panchami is today.
Where in America?
In UK, Arti Mataji is saying, I think in America also today, Maharaj.
Oh, okay. You guys are always trying to be ahead of us.
Yes.
Because if we get there at the same time, we'll beat you. So, in order to show your worth, you pick a day earlier.
For us here in Mayapur, it's tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yes,
where
Maharaj.
I am, India, all over India, it's tomorrow. And because the tradition started in India, we're right and you guys are wrong. Rick's smiling like he's thinking about something. No, I'm just like joking a little bit, but the part, yeah, tomorrow, according, because Rajesh said in India, it is tomorrow in India.
My wearing yellow had nothing to do with it. I just put on yellow t-shirt this morning. That was all. So it's purely coincidental. There's any significance here.
Not yellow and purple, they don't go to. Tomorrow, and it's also a very holy day. There is Lakshmi Puja, and it's the disappearance day of Raghunandana Das, Raghunandana Thakur, the disappearance day of Vishnu Priya. The disappearance day of who else? Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Disappearance day of Raghunath Das Swami.
Maharaj,
And the appearance day of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
Maharaj, sorry to interrupt you, but here it says in the calendar, Srimati Vishnu Priya Devi appearance, Saraswati,
Right.
Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur
Yeah.
disappearance, Sri
Yeah.
Pundarika Vidyanidhi appearance, Sri Raghunandan Thakur
Appearance, yeah.
appearance, Sri Raghunath Dasa Goswami appearance, Maharaj.
Yeah, I had it backwards. Yeah, it's appearance.
Yeah, and today is Vasanta Panchami here.
Saraswati Puja is not the consort of Lord Brahma. That's Lakshmi Devi.
Oh, okay.
That's refers to Lakshmi Devi.
Mm. Yes, Maharaj. Thank you.
Mm.
Supreme
Very holy day.
Mataji, Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj. So in the chat, Supriya Mataji is asking, we have Gurukul which accept even smaller kids. Is it different than Brahmacharya ashram?
Say that again.
We have Gurukul which accept even smaller kids. Is it different than Brahmacharya ashram?
Yeah, that's good. But, you know, everything is done under the guidance of the parents also. Many of the teachers in Gurukul also are some of the parents of some of the children in the school. So yeah, this is all done with parental supervision involved. I mean, we were criticized when Prabhupada started for asking parents to send their kids away to Gurukul in Vrindavan and Mayapur, and then they would never see their children again for at least like 15 years, except maybe when the kids rode home or something. But then we adjusted that where parents are more involved with the Gurukul now. And the Gurukul has really developed in many areas. I sent that letter about all of the parents in the Mayapur who have sent their children to Gurukul, and they all write how their children have developed so nicely with all good qualities and are happy in the Mayapur Gurukul.
Yes, Maharaj, thank you. Revati Mataji, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. My question is about Grihastha Ashram. So Guru Maharaj, you mentioned like being in Grihastha Ashram, one should regularly host programs and distribute prasadam. So when it comes to preaching, how much we should do, like in being Grihastha Ashram, like giving classes and all that? It's also
In your homes, you can always discuss philosophy, but Prabhupada writes in one purport that the Grihasthas should invite the sannyasis into their homes and have regular programs and distribute prasadam, speak on Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So invite some preacher. If you can't invite a preacher, then hold programs and discuss among yourselves. Now you can read books and discuss. Or if someone knows the philosophy a little bit more in that area, they can present something. It's not so hard and fast in the homes. The homes are, we give them much more, at least no restrictions in the homes. Mostly everything, the restrictions apply to temple activity.
so regularly hosting bhakti vrikshas and inviting devotees is also preaching, Guru Maharaj?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, Guru Maharaj, thank you. We do that regularly host programs. Thank you.
Encourage other grihasthas in the area to do the same.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
In the Sri Leela, we will try this.
Yes, Maharaj. She's
Yeah,
asking.
I hope to be there right after Guru Purnima.
Yeah, nice. Scarlett Mataji, you have any question?
Yes, please forgive me. I don't remember if I have asked this question and if I have got answer, but just to be safe, I want to ask if book distribution counts as devotional service?
It's the main part of devotion. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, distributing transcendental knowledge. Yes, that's devotional service in its best. Okay, so I think we can stop here.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah.
We're with the Harrisburg devotees, and we'll see you then. If you can just pass along the verse, if you have it there, Srimati.
Yes, Maharaj. One second. Maharaj, tomorrow's verse is Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, 3rd chapter, 12th verse, 3.12.
Chapter, which chapter?
Chapter 3, verse number 12.
Okay, Adi Leela, 3rd chapter, verse 12.
Yeah, 3.12.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Thank you all for coming on today, and please take more and more time to read, study, chant, and distribute this mercy to others. This is our responsibility to the gift that we have received from the Prophet. Try to say, make the unfortunate fortunate.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Thank you, dear devotees, for participating. Very nice question answer session. We'll all see you tomorrow with the Harrisburg devotees class. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. His
Thank you for the
Grace-
class today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.